Welcome back, everyone. I'm joined now by Ali Hampton, Australasia Product Manager for First Class Holidays. Hi, Ali. She'll be showcasing First Class Holidays New Zealand in-depth itinerary, which takes travellers all the way from Auckland to Christchurch. And at the end, there will be a few minutes for questions, so please do ask away in the chat box. I know you guys are really on it, which is brilliant, asking lots of questions and saying hi to each other. And remember to answer the questions in the polls tab as well for the chance to win prizes. And yeah, that would be great. So over to you, Ali.
Thank you very much, Jen. Good morning, everybody. Sorry for the slight delay in me joining. And indeed, I'm just literally going to take you on a beautiful journey through New Zealand, which works really well traveling throughout the year, but particularly in the springtime, because we're going to be traveling from north to south. All of these details can be found in the chat as well. You'll have access to those and also in our brochure, which is on page 44. So we're just going to go through a little bit of a journey of both of these guys. And I'm hoping some of you might have already seen our front covers. So our new brochure was launched this year, which is pretty exciting too. So our first stop is into Auckland, which is known as, I think some of you know, the City of Sails. Certainly when you arrive into Auckland, we definitely don't advise you really to pick up a car straight away if you're just arriving off a long flight. And also, to be fair, the traffic is pretty bad in Auckland. So we transfer our guests straight into the city, and then we get them to stay there for a couple of days just to browse around the harbour, guys. They just absolutely love doing that, going up the Sky Tower, going across to Waiheke Island if they're wineries as well. So lots to do in Auckland before they pick up their car and already move on. So we're going to take you up to the tropics first of all, up to sort of the Bay of Islands. Again, great time of year to travel, sort of September, October. And what we really love about coming up here is about 3 hours, and it is completely different. You do get that tropical feel up in the Bay of Islands. Lots to do in terms of walking, certainly lots of cruises, getting out to the Hole in the Rock, which is quite a cool little trip to do as your captain navigates you through some of the rock formation up there, which is pretty cool. We'll look out for some dolphins as well. They should be hanging about and playing around. Pahir and Russell are just super cute. Russell particularly has a very cute pub to go and have a look at. So we definitely encourage our guests to go there. And then we're starting to see, you can see on the slide, the sanctuary in terms of accommodation. What we love and what we know Glynis at the sanctuary, she only has 4 bedrooms. So again, traveling off peak really helps us find that niche Kiwi hospitality. Mixed up with some of the general big main chain hotels that you're aware of in Auckland, Christchurch, Wellington, etc. But some of these really nice little stays work well. And you can see on the slides as well, we've put the drive time in, so that will really help you and your clients understand how far they're driving, because it looks pretty small, but New Zealand's pretty big. And also, we don't have the M1 all the way through from top to bottom. So when they've done their hanging about up in the Bay of Islands there, they can move south towards Hokianga and Kauri Forest. So again, quite different where they've just left. They just really need a night here, the Kauri Forest, beautiful native bush for the guests to really explore as you're travelling further south. So just trying to get them away from driving up and down the same road to the Bay of Islands. And then coming back further south, it is a pretty, it's quite a long road to come down from the Bay of Islands down to Rotorua. So we break that journey up just north of Auckland in a place called Orewa. Again, once the guests arrive there, they can just go down onto the beach and just have a beautiful walk on the sandy beaches and just really break that journey up. This itinerary is all about taking your time and really inhaling that during New Zealand. Rotorua, I think, is probably on everybody's list that are coming through to New Zealand, and really for that Maori interaction as well. And so you can go to Maori concerts. You've obviously got your geysers there as well to see. You've got the skyline. You've got lots of lakes to explore as well, being in Rotorua. Personally, I love Taupo as well, which is only 40 minutes drive south of Rotorua. So your guests can do activities within Rotorua, but staying in Taupo as well. So they can do either. And we really love that again because we've got some really cute little B&Bs in both Rotorua and Taupo. And also bear in mind at some point in 27 days, your guests will need to do some washing, I'm sad to say. So, you can pop in a couple of motels or apartments. Nothing like going out, grabbing your fish and chips and enjoying that on your own balcony rather than searching for restaurants every night. Napier is completely different. So since the earthquake way back when, it's really been built as a Art Deco. Cute little township for people to discover. And you can do complimentary walking tours within Napier. We do also have vineyards, amazing vineyards, and the first vineyard in New Zealand that was opened up there in Cloudy Bay. Just be careful of Napier. They do have lots of festivals. And again, talk to us about that. We do have resident Kiwis in the reservations team. Most of us have lived in New Zealand or have some connection with this beautiful country. So ask us about any festivals and we can make sure that we try and avoid that to make sure your guests get a great stay. And you can have a vineyard stay within Napier as well. Our itinerary actually brings you through to Martinborough. So it's a beautiful drive actually coming through from Napier and then through the volcanic region and down into Martinborough, which is another great wine region, perfect for cycling the vineyards. Probably one of the lesser known areas. Cute little grey town, great for shopping. It's just 1.5 hours from Wellington, and I'm sure Lily from Tourism New Zealand has spent many a time in Martinborough, as have I, on various cute little vineyard tours and really visiting those cellar doors that most people don't know about. So it's one of our little secrets there in Martinborough. Wellington, what can I say? We need a 2-night stay here, guys. In Wellington, it's an amazing city. It's my favourite city in New Zealand. Definitely try and get guests to stay for 2 nights. Lots of reasons for that. So there's Te Papa Museum, which is complimentary to go in. You can add on extra tours as well on top of that to really get embrace that museum and the culture as well of New Zealand and what we're all about. But also there's an amazing sanctuary as well called Zealandia, which you can visit in the evening, especially for guests that are short on time and maybe just dipping out, just doing the North Island. This is there. Go up to Zealandia and you might see hear kiwi rustling around in the evening, and it's really very, very cool. Wellington's all about food and coffee bars, and it wants to be Melbourne when it grows up, but at the moment it's just cute little Wellington. And again, I've popped in there one of our little B&Bs. We have got our standard, our traditionals, our Copthorns, our Intercontinentals, Bolton hotels. So we've got some really nice apartment stays as well, again, for that washing experience. You can do food tours, you can do cycling tours as well. So Wellington, and I meant to just mention, actually, if we've got any Hobbit fans or Hobbiton fans or Lord of the Rings fans, Ghost in the Shell fans, then a trip to Sea Weta workshop is definitely for our film buffs. It's only a couple of hours, just outside of Wellington, but transfers are included out there, and you can literally go and visit Sir Peter James' office if you wish. Okay, so leaving the North Island behind, we're going to head over on one of the most stunning ferry journeys in the world, in my opinion, over to Nelson. We always ensure, as long as we don't have kids with us, we travel in the premium lounge. Now, the reason for this is your guests are going to get up in the morning in Wellington. All they need to do is grab a coffee, get down to the ferry port, and come on board. Once they get into the premium lounge, everything is included. So their breakfast is included, There's coffees available. There's no kids. Yay! I can see people live in Ottawa. That's quite cool. Thank you for letting us know that, Alice. And also, so yeah, complimentary Wi-Fi. So they're in this beautiful lounge. You're cruising across the Cook Strait. It is absolutely stunning. It's about 3.5 hours. And when you come over into Picton, as you're coming through those Marlborough Sounds, why not have a cheeky glass of wine for the non-driver, of course, and then really embrace that Sauvignon Blanc, because this is the territory you're just about to arrive into. Okay. And then we're going to take you around to the Able Tasman. So a lot of people get straight off the ferry, get in their car and drive south. We're not going to ask your guests to do that. We're going to ask your guests to stay in the top of the south. The top of the south is probably one of my most favourite parts of the country itself. Able Tasman, even though you might be travelling in the springtime, hey, it's four seasons in one day, right, in New Zealand. So it's all about taking layers. And there's nothing more beautiful than through the Able Tasman there, doing some beautiful cruises. You can do some leisurely walks. You can go out in kayaks as well. I've been up there kayaking, and I've had a sneaky seal just sit on the back of the kayak, and I'm wondering why it's so heavy all of a sudden. And this guy's just crawled on the back for a lift. It feels like your guests sometimes thinking, hey, if I go for a walk, if I get off this cruise, which is like a water taxi, are they going to remember to come back for me? There's no problem at all. Your water taxis will always come back for you. You can walk for 2 hours, 4 hours, a day. You can walk 3 days. And we've got all of those within our brochure as well. And again, a lovely little bed and breakfast up there, which my dear friend Tui has actually built within the last couple of years. So again, you can see that First Class Holidays, it really is personal stays as well, and people that we know and that we care about, and they're going to give your guests the best experience. And then round to Kaikoura. Kaikoura, in actual fact, that bottom tree there, Haupoku Lodge and Tree Houses, I've worked there before, and it's absolutely stunning. If you've got honeymooners, if you've got anybody that needs a fabulous night's stay, even dare I say, if they're in a motorhome, just have this one night here in Kaikoura. It is stunning. Kaikoura is always about whales. Everybody comes to Kaikoura to see whales, but you can also swim with dolphins, which is amazing, and you can swim with seals as well in Kaikoura. Okay, so, and the road through is absolutely stunning from the Able Tasman down to Kaikoura. And you can see that beautiful bay. It's all about seafood, so if anybody out there is loving seafood, that's a great place as well. And again, what a great spot to just grab your fish and chips. We've got some really nice motels as well there, and which is a fun fact coming up here. So we've also got the railway station for the Coastal Pacific train, which is coming down from Picton. And yes, indeed, it is called the Whaleway Station. And all the speed bumps into the car park are in the shape of whales. So next time you pass it, just check and make sure I know my facts on that one. And then down to fantastic Christchurch. So we include a whale watch cruise in the morning, because really travelling down to Christchurch is only about half an hour drive. So you can, your guests can still do some activities in the morning as they're coming down into Christchurch. As I was speaking about whale watching, swimming with dolphins, and also actually kayaking as well. Kayaking sunset trips are amazing in Kaikoura as well. For those who haven't got any sea legs, then we also offer flights. So you can do scenic flights and you can do helicopter flights over the whales as well, which is pretty cool. Christchurch has really recovered well since their earthquake. I think the tram tour is such a neat way to get around the city, getting on and off. And also you can have dinner on board as well. There's lots of mentions of the earthquakes as you go around, so there will be some old mixed with new in terms of new dining options in Christchurch as well. And what we'll do is we're going to get our guests to actually drop their car off, so the driver can just have a couple of days without driving. Of course, all of these itinerary you can add on, take off as you wish. And we're going to get the train, which the Transalpine, a lot of our guests want to do the Transalpine train. It's the one that everybody talks about. So on board the train in Christchurch, over to Greymouth, pick up a new car, and then drive down to Franz Josef, and now you're in the region of glaciers. So you're all about heli hiking. You can do flights over. We actually have some kayaking tours as well out there. And Lake Matheson is just a beautiful walk where you can just go and walk around the lake, 45 minutes, half an hour, grab a coffee, and you can just see the mirror of these glaciers and mountains around you in the Lake Matheson, which is beautiful. Moving along, probably one of the bigger days of driving, but one of the most, also the slowest day of driving, because literally around every corner there's another lake, there's another waterfall to take a photo of, and you're going to get to the adventure capital of Queenstown. There is, I don't like the terminology, something for everyone, but actually there really is. So whether you want to go up on the gondola, go lugeing, whether you've got helicopter up on the peak to make a proposal, or you've got kids that want to go on the 4-wheel drive tour, and movie buffs on the Safari of the Scenes with Nomad Safaris, or there's everything is there. So definitely, 2 days is okay, but if you can stay a little bit longer. It is quite busy in Queenstown and you've got your car. So again, you can see we use Kamana Lake, but we also have some other really cute B&Bs for those guests that don't want to be right in the hub. So yeah. And then moving down a bit further to Tiana, this is our giving us our access to our cruises, Milford or Doubtful. And our agents and our clients are saying, hey, we want to do Milford Sound or Doubtful Sound. Well, guess what? We're going to do both. Okay. So we'll put those in there as well. And for you, they're quite different. Milford Sound, everybody wants to go to see the top of Mitre Peak, the biggest, tallest peak down there. Or Doubtful Sound is much, much larger. If guests have got time, highly recommend an overnight stay. So when the day trippers go home, they've literally got these Fiordland to themselves. Get out on a tether in the evening and you can see your dolphins, etc. down there. So it's stunning. Then across to Dunedin. Coming across to Dunedin, there's very got much an Edinburgh feel to it. It's a bit different with your castle. Lots of wildlife there in terms of your birds. So you've got your penguins, you've got your albatross, and you've got a great brewery. So, and we use the fabled Dunedin Hotel there. Heading a little bit further north, we're going to drive up through a great place called Oamaru, so a bit more penguin watching, and then inland to Mount Cook, the highest mountain in New Zealand. You can do walks around there. There's great stargazing through this part of New Zealand as well. And of course, we've got our Glacier Explorers boat trip, which I'll put on there for you as well. And then finally, your journey, your guests will travel back over through the Burks Pass, back through Canterbury Plains, and to the city of Christchurch, where your car hire will be dropped off there as well. All right. And that's sort of the end of our little journey. It is 27 days, so it might be slightly longer than guests wish. They may wish to stay in Christchurch a bit longer. As I say, everything. I don't think we've ever got anything in the brochure where an agent or a client hasn't asked for something a little bit different. So please feel free to challenge us on that. I've just been reminded that I need to put a couple of questions in the chat. So because I had technical issues earlier, I was slightly scared about doing it. So I'm going to do the present. I wanted to get the presentation to you guys first. I'll put some questions into the chat for you. And if anybody really has got any questions for me, fire away in here as well, and I'll see how I can help you out.
Thanks for that, Ali. That was brilliant. Very comprehensive.
Yes.
Yes, it took me back to my days backpacking, but slightly different vibe, much more luxurious.
Oh yeah, no, we try not to get too involved in the backpackers, although we do lots of different accommodation. But
understandable, very understandable.
I'm just typing away in here, so I'll be one moment.
No problem. Once you're done there, there's already a question in the chat, so I'll bring that to you in a minute. Once you're
good. I like lots of questions about New Zealand. You can feel I'm passionate about it.
Yeah.
I'm going to say as well, actually, that itinerary is great if you're travelling at the opposite end of the year in autumn. So do it in reverse. Okay. just because starting Queenstown sort of April, May time, and then the weather will be getting better as you go further north.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Uh,
I've got lots of questions related to the seasons, which
I
I'll come on to in a
know.
minute.
Okay, I'm going to try and get to them.
No
My
worries.
fingers are typing away. Okay, let's have a look here. Far away questions, please.
So Claire has asked, if someone wants to travel in August, should they avoid any areas due to the weather?
Good question, Claire. Probably not avoid any areas as such. Give yourself a little bit of time. I guess if the West Coast does get quite tricky in August time, so that glacier region. But if you're sticking to the main highways, definitely down on the South Island, then we'd just give clients plenty of time coming up through from Christchurch down to Queenstown. You will get snow. So it's best to ask us as well if we might want to go with a 4-wheel drive, just to give your clients a really more comfortable drive. We'll put in a few more extra stops en route as well. It's a beautiful time of year to go there because, of course, you've got the snow against the mountain drop.
Yeah, lovely. Sophie's actually asking you, what's your favourite region to visit in the springtime?
Oh, thank you, Sophie. Well, I guess probably I love the top of the South. Lots of things about the top of the South. We talked about Abel Tasman. I love it through there, but also you've got some great vineyards, and you know they'll have the hot burners outside. You can just sit outside and just drink fine wine. It's great, perfect.
Brilliant, sounds
And
good.
Abel Tasman actually is the sunniest part of New Zealand anyway, so
Okay,
springtime for Abel Tasman, perfect.
brilliant.
Thank you.
Tracy's asking, do clients need to factor in costs for parking at hotels?
Yeah, generally not, Tracy. We'll just try. We'll try and use properties that don't are not going to charge us for parking. But of course, this changes as we go. Queenstown, you'll probably find Queenstown, Christchurch, Wellington, Auckland. You probably will find that we're paying to park, which is why we won't get a car in Auckland, and we'll probably drop it off straight away as soon as we get into Christchurch and pick up another one in Greymouth to avoid that.
Okay, brilliant. Sarah's asking, how much does the trip cost?
Yeah,
Leaving
I
price.
mean that's sort of a little bit a bit down to the airlines as well as but traveling off peak, we should be able to try and do something, not necessarily with all the luxury stuff that maybe I've talked about, but about £8,000 or £9,000 per person.
Okay.
Depends on what the lovely airlines are doing.
Yeah. Okay, brilliant. Okay, forgive my pronunciation here. Darren is asking, is the train service Itinerary Gorge train still running?
No, do you know it's actually not, unless Lily knows something different at TNZ. It actually isn't.
Oh,
I don't believe it's up and running, but Lily might she might pick me up on that one. In which case, every day's a school day, right?
yeah, for sure.
Thank you for the question.
Yes. Do we have any more questions at all?
Oh, Veronica, I'm glad you're coming down. That's amazing. I've just seen that. I'm really pleased you got some top tips out of that. And yeah, have an amazing time. Oh, thank you, Lily. Cool. Thank you so much, guys, for hopping on. Thank you for bearing with me. I'm really passionate about New Zealand. My team are really passionate about New Zealand. We do go out there, so we do know what we're talking about. So please feel free to get in contact with any of the guys, and we really look forward to taking care of your guests.
Thanks. I just had one question actually, Ali. Just I picked up on your comment about whether you travel in the prestige lounge on the ferry. Would you say that? I mean, do you welcome sort of families and children on the itinerary, or is it more targeted at older children? Or
Yeah, no, we do have families that are travelling down. They want something a little bit different, Jen. So generally, they want more to do and
Mhm.
less stops en route. So we'll have more of a family-oriented itinerary. They tend to stay more in apartments, motels, so that kids can have beans on toast when they wake up, pasta and things like that. They want to spend a lot of time in Rotorua because there's so much to do. They want to spend a lot of time in Queenstown. So we're actually move exactly with what the clients are looking for. And of course, we have older clients as well that don't want to drive. So we
Mhm.
use the coaches, and we've got an amazing train journey network now. So we've got 3 main train lines, and we can actually build up whole itineraries without even putting your foot on the clutch.
Brilliant. All right. Thanks so much, Ali.
Thank you so much, Jen. Thanks for
Not
the
at all.
opportunity to speak to everyone.
No, thank you, and thanks for coming back and joining us at a different time. That's fab. And to everyone else, please come back and join us here at 12:30. So you've got a little break now to have a cup of tea, or as I said earlier, you can join the partner rooms in the virtual lobby, maybe get some early lunch. But we'll be hearing from Anscrow, and they'll be telling us how to beat your client's bucket list. So I'm sure that'll be worth the wait. So yeah, we'll see you back here at 12:30. See you all soon. Thank you very much. Thanks, Ali.
Thank you.